Oh yeah. Let's do this. Clear this out. Wasabi Bobby. Thank you for tuning in. This is Rick the Love. I'm actually going to do another story from the Northwest Cannabis Market. These are all stories that are super important to a culture that developed out of Washington. Oh yeah. Hope you guys are jamming with this. So today I'm actually going to talk about, and I'm going to build up to it because there's a lot of aspects of this that I learned from the market that I want to share with you. But the topic of today is going to be Apple Dave. Apple Dave. But before I do this, let me pack this bowl. Now this is a podcast that actually works a lot better if you guys actually smoke along with me. I'm going to be smoking on some Bubba Kush grown from heritage farmers from the Pacific Northwest. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Coronavirus, doing the COVID thing. Lockdown, baby. Lockdown, baby. Let's get this smoke on and the story on. Come on, smoke with me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Whoa, let's tap in on this. So the year is about 2013. Let's get this sip. I'm gonna take a seat. Cozy up to the dab bar. Okay, I gotta do backstory on this, of course. So a lot of people don't know what the Northwest Cannabis Market was. It was a patient-based market for cannabis consumption. Think of a think tank of cannabis vendors vying for the affection of patients. We would bring all types of products like medicated beef jerky, infused lotions, oils, creams, and medicated juices. Are you feeling it? It was a utopia. So let me break it down so why Apple Dave was important to this. But I have to actually break it down. I have to back up to why he was important to my memory of this market. Oh yeah, tap in. Oh yeah. Sorry, okay, here we go. So when I went to the market, I actually got introduced to it. And I got bring in because I was actually a marketable product. I came in as People's Champs People's Champs edibles. Left hook, right hook, you're out was my slogan. Sorry, I just burped. Slogan. I actually had a whole model built before I stepped to them, and that was one of the reasons why I was actually brought in. How I was brought in, a lot of people don't realize this. I guess I should probably say how I got brought in. I came in as an edible person, and what happened was, I guess I'll just break this in. I was going to talk about Apple Day, but So I came in and I had a whole mantra and I sat for a whole 8 hours. And on your first day, you didn't sell anything. I didn't sell nothing. I didn't have any flour. All I sold was edibles and sweaty bags. They were the best edibles in the room, but they were also in sweaty bags, and everyone was thinking, that guy looks like a cop. I looked like a cop. No tattoos. I was taking pictures of everything. Wouldn't you if you were in Willy Wonka land? Got a cell phone. I was making videos. So they labeled me a cop. My first day, I sold 2 packs. No, I sold 3 packs. I'm sorry. They were $10 a piece, 3 units in each one. I had peanut butter jelly time, and I had Tropic Thunder, and I had chocolate lemon, I believe it was. 3 flavors of my, and I also had my medicated brownies with bacon in them. Just so funny to say it. Okay, but why is that important? So I came in under the assumption of being a brand. I was very proud that I could stand behind my brand if it would sell. And the owners of the market liked that I did that. But on the first day, I only sold $30 worth of product. When I went to go talk to him, I said, hey man, and it was $260 a day. As I went to him, he watched me all day. It was very interesting. He saw me stand up and shake hands and really make eye contact and really aggressively try to sell the best tasting and effective products in that room at that time. And he knew everyone was calling me a cop. So when I went to him, he asked, I was going to go pay him the $260 for my table fee. I went to him and I said, hey, Mike. He says, hey, Rick, how was your day? I said, oh, it was great. It was great. I loved it. Very enriching. I loved it. And as I had my hand in my pocket to pay him the $260, which would have broke me, that would have been the first day and the last day I would have ever been at the market. He says, man, all right, man, you're going to be here tomorrow? I said, yes, I'm going to be here tomorrow. He said, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. And he winked at me. And he touched my arm. It was the arm that I was going to pull the $260 out of my pocket. And if I did, I wouldn't have came back because I only made $30. This is bringing back memories. Salute. So what happened next was interesting. Then I went home, contemplated what I did, what the value of what I was doing, and you know, the importance of being a cannabis brand in a room full of. I consider them vendors. I'm not sure if they consider them vendors, but you know, there was I believe one of the vendors was Freedom from Seattle, Washington. I mean, there were some big names in there, but let me keep going. It's just such a baby think tank of cannabis. It was incredible. So I come back the next day and I do the same thing, and I have $260 in my pocket, thinking, oh wow. I got to sell more. I got to make this table feed, you know, bam, bam. So what happened was, I think I sold 2 edibles. So that's $20, $10 a sweaty bag. That's so funny, but it's the truth. I continue to make content and videos. I continue to stand and shake hands and smile. I continue to sell People's Champs as a brand. And I continue to be very proud that I was standing in that room. I thought it was my last day there. After that day, I went to go pay him again. He did the same thing to me in a weird way. So that happened after a while. I didn't understand it, but what it is let me break it down what it is. When you start breaking your room, there's, let's just say the room here, whether it's your record label or your artist, or I like to call it family style. You give deals to the first ones because they're family. They don't always know it because they're not, but they are. And so I did not know that he did this to the vendors around me, and he buffed them up. That term, you guys should get used to it. But he buffed us all up so that we could be who we were going to be. They didn't know they were going to be that, but he was buffing the shit out of us. I got to come along and be a brand that said, hey, let me put a sticker on everything. And they said, that dude's a cop, but he knows how to brand. So, woo! Should we, one more taps? Come on. Are you guys drinking with me? Okay, here we go. Cheers. So, we'll get to Apple Dave. It's crazy. This is going to be a long one, I guess. So, after about 20 days, I was not making any money. It was pathetic. I was looking like a cop. I mean, I just was taking pictures and just, what's up with your product? And just was in everybody's ass because I was the most. If this was Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, all those little dwarfs that were out there making fucking dealing with the flowers, the candy flowers and the river, I was like in their ass, like, hey man, what kind of soil are you planting it was just ridiculous. I was in everyone's ass. Because I loved them. I loved them. So after a month, I realized that I could not do this any longer. I was supporting it and learning from it, and I just didn't see the end of this unless I learned from it. And from the room, I had to give the patients what they wanted. Sorry, so excited. So the patients wanted products. I was giving them the best edibles in the room, the highest potency and the best flavor, worst packaging, sweaty bags, but branded to them and priced for them. They wanted flour. So what I did is one day I said, look, I'm going to come in with one flavor, and it was peanut butter jelly time, and 1/4 pound, which is 4 ounces for what people don't, or 112 grams, of this product called Illmatic. And nobody in the room had Illmatic. And I said, if you like this, you'll like this. And if you like this, you'll definitely like this. And I built up a reputation by bringing good products. Once those started to sell out, that was a big, interesting part of it, which is another story. But then I would add more flavors. And then I would add more strains. Not strands. Strains. And I would get stuff from other heritage farmers from the Pacific Northwest than the room had. That was my job. I also did things a little bit differently because I had to compete against these guys. These guys, I mean, after I got into it, I had to really straight up compete, and I could not sell the same product from somebody else for the same price. Meaning they would say that it was donation was $240, and I would put that, but I wouldn't sell any of it. So I had to pick out my whole model. I had to change everything very quickly. And I think this was the second month. Because you had to learn the room. You guys are learning so much. Woo! So what I did is I said, look, I'm going to do some math. And I'm going to look at what happens when you break down 3 pounds in a week. 1 pound I'm going to do for eighths. The other pound I'm going to do for ounces. And the third pound's going to be for QPs. That was the rules at that time. I did the math on that. What came from that math? It was the $25 eighth. People's Champs, I'm very proud to say, is the home of the $25 eighth. We put it on our wall at the market. We knew the math. And if you guys don't know the math, let me break it down for you. $25 eighths make it a $3,200 pound. What does that mean? So that means if I was buying the pound for $2,000, if that pound went away to my patient base through donations, there was a $1,200 thing that would happen to the business. Now it's a lot different if you do $40, like everybody was doing, but they didn't know why they were doing it, and they didn't have any control of their supply and demand, even at the market, and they didn't realize we were patient-based. This was our job, our privilege. So, Apple Dave. So as I did this, a lot of stuff that happened was I got a lot of my customer support from just treating them like family. That means when I would be standing before they walked in the room. I wouldn't sit down and then they walk in and I stand up and look like a douchebag. Not saying I didn't do that, but I learned from it. Because I like seeing their eyes saying, Rick, what's up, man? Apple Dave put us all on point. We hated him. Can I say it? He got so much hate. He got so much hate. But he was raw about what he did. So he came in. I'm going to tap before I actually break it down because I'm going to do this about 4 minutes. Oh, I love you guys. Big cheers to Northwest Cannabis Market. So the rules were all, they were different for everybody. But Apple Dave came in. And what he did was crazy. We were not supposed to have a lot of product on us. And this guy did exactly the opposite of that. He came from a salesman background. And I know he had to work in a fish market at some point in his life. He actually took jars and he would fill the bottoms of them with some substance. I can't remember I don't know what it was because I was not in his ass that much. But these were huge barrel-looking jars, like a barrel. And he would have like 4 or 5 of them. And he would fill them up at least half with these kind of half eggshells or something. And then he would put like, I don't know. I don't want to say how much, but he would put a little bit in there. And it would look like a lot. And that was Apple Dave. Apple Dave was amazing. So he came in and he blew up what he had in showmanship, which I'll talk about it down there, which was good. The biggest thing with Apple Dave, Apple Dave, I'm going to say this. Apple Dave was on drugs. Sorry, it was just, everybody said he had Tourette's syndrome, some of that shit, but that motherfucker was geeked the fuck up. He would come in. He'd say, hey, what's up? Hey, what, you here to buy weed? You here to buy weed? Oh, come here, man, come here, man. You like weed? What are you looking for? Look here. He would grab an apple. He would take a pen, and I'm not sure if he would make eye contact with these patients about 10 times. In that time, he's puncturing this apple, making a pipe, packing it with some fucking dark, moldy weed. And he's like, hey, go in there. Hey, you guys here? If you go in that room, go and smoke it. When you come back, I guarantee you're going to bunch of, I guarantee, Get in there, get in. Those motherfuckers would go in there with that apple. And the apple had... There's terpenes in smoking out of an apple that will always taste good. It's just hilarious. But Apple Dave knew that shit. They would come out the room. He would hit them with about 3 sets of eye contact. How was that? Was that good? I told you it was good. That was good. Come on, get over here. And he would sell commodities. How do I say it? Dirt cheap, dirt quick, and very effective. And everybody in the market hated him. And he was super effective. I mean, there will always be that effectiveness. Salesman, I mean, I'm telling you. But he used the resources of an apple and killed it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever smoked weed out of an apple? It kind of tastes good. Crazy. So, that being said, Apple Dave changed the whole dynamic of it. I thought I changed the dynamics of it, and start making people branding more and buying clothing and buying bongs. Apple Dave made everybody get on point about a lot of different things. I'm not even sure why he was so impactful to me, but he was one of the first guys that actually took, he wasn't one of the first ones, but he just maximized the shit out of the opportunity, which is what everybody should do. I don't know what's going on with Apple Dave today. I don't know if he's totally open. Is he totally open somewhere? He even had a sign that said totally open, and we all ridiculed that, but that was good shit. That's marketing. Totally open. But, wow. So, on that's the story of Apple Dave, and I guess that's the story of how I got to the market. I guess that's the story of how I actually ended up paying table fees. Started off as Apple Dave, and then told you how I didn't even get to tell you how I paid my table fees after that month. About the MCing and all that. But you guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope this hits the light of day. And thanks for tapping in, y'all. Big ups to Apple Dave. Totally open. Peace.